So what's the difference between manifesting from a pure connection to God versus manifesting from a darkness and a disconnection from God?
So, okay, so there's a couple elements to this. Now, do I believe in you don't have to believe in manifesting, it is law, but I feel like my destiny as a person was always to be in LA. So does that make sense? So like, even if I was in a bad place in my life, like my soul wanted to be here. But I would say the biggest difference in manifesting from, it's like I was manifesting things and they would happen, but I'd still have the feelings of unworthiness.
Really?
Yes. And what's really interesting about, like I manifested some things after Pretty Little Liars, and it was a couple of TV shows. And I'm talking, I did like 3 TV shows in a row that got canceled. And I was like, but you know what it was? It's because I had this limiting belief that I didn't deserve
What you had already before.
what I had already, or that I had already peaked, or that, you know, and so I was manifesting jobs that weren't going to follow through.
Interesting.
Oh my God. And we were talking about like money beliefs earlier. Everyone read this house book. But like I've had to really reestablish a healthy relationship with money and with success, and realizing that success doesn't equal bad or evil. To me, more success equals, wow, I get to connect with so many people, or wow, I get to create content, movies, TV, films that's really going to help people or entertain them or give them a break from their day. David has really helped me with all of this stuff. And so my life has felt like a series of trial and errors, like most people's, but then I realized, oh my God, I realized my part in it, because we are manifesting every second of every freaking day. And the biggest, like if anyone takes anything from this podcast, it is get really comfortable with your thoughts and make sure you're focusing more on the positive than the negative. I feel like what I realized was I was latching on to so many negative limiting beliefs that were really hindering my growth as both an artist and a human.
Interesting.
And I was blaming other people. That is the worst thing you can do, is say, well, I'm not getting this job because this person's not working hard enough for me. And it's like, no. We are so in control of whatever we want to create. And that's a scary concept for a lot of people to accept. A lot of people don't want to accept that, but it is my belief. It is my belief that we are master creators, and we are so powerful. And like, how cool that, I mean, look, I'm sitting here like 2 years ago, I was like, dang, I really love this podcast. And I was like, I could really see myself on this podcast. And here I am. But we're also manifesting little things like a cup of tea. It's just, I love it. I think it's fun to play.
It
like
is
once
fun.
you get familiar with how it all works, it's fun to.
Now, but you mentioned something earlier about like you felt like you were a victim for a long time, right?
Yeah.
Like you were living in victim energy.
Yes.
Obviously, you were creating stuff, and from the outside, you know, people didn't see your failures, even though you had 3 shows that didn't extend after the first season or didn't get picked up after the pilot or whatever.
Yeah.
But everyone else on the outside is seeing you win, except for maybe close industry friends hearing about something.
Or the 10
canceling.
trolls on the
Yeah,
internet.
exactly. Whatever.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it didn't work out for you.
Yeah.
But it sounded like you were living in a victim energy inside of you. And it's because you weren't feeling worthy or deserving of the success, or like, I've already received too much success and I shouldn't have received that much anyways.
Yeah.
When did you start to shift out of victim and unworthiness energy into hero or main character energy?
Yeah, I love that.
Into I am deserving and worthy of all the blessings that come to my life?
Yeah.
How did you shift that energy from I'm undeserving to deserving?
I mean, I feel like it was around the time I got sober. I mean, definitely a year or 2 before I got sober, I started having these like little glimmers of hope, or like things were really connecting for me spiritually, or like how I was getting in my own way, how I was contributing to this sob story, or like contributing to my own suffering, you know? And that is the biggest wake-up call a soul can have, is when they're like, oh my God, this is my part in why I'm in so much pain. Because I think it's so easy for us to just like blame.
So you were blaming who? Like managers or agents or like
mean,
studios or?
No, I mean, I think I was just, yeah, it was like people around me or other people in the industry.
Or were you saying
or
like,
if
oh, this girl got it because of some other reason or what?
Yeah, it was like, oh, I don't look a certain way, or I'm not a good enough actor, or like whatever these stupid stories that we tell ourselves that aren't true. Like, I was just giving my power away too easily. And all of that started to shift when first I had to get clear-headed, right? It was like, okay, stop drinking, stop doing all this stuff, and just like really, let's get back in alignment. And I had to be really clear-headed. And, you know, the first year of sobriety was really about just my environment changed, the people I was with changed. The second year was
Because you're not hanging out with the same people who are drinking on the
my
weekends.
whole life completely changed. But I have been lucky that a lot of, like my family, all of my closest friends have been my friends for years, and they were, you know, stood by my side. But a lot of my life changed, looked different. The second year was more about like, okay, I need to integrate into the world and have fun. But I was, you know, I can't like sit at home in my house all day with my dogs, although
It's pretty fun too, though.
although it's that. And then the third year, so the year I just came out, because I'm going to my fourth year, my third year was like everything changed.
Really? Last year?
Everything I had bottled up came to the surface. It was like I got hit with everything one after one, and it was like emotional whiplash. And luckily, I had a lot of time last year to deal. You know, it's funny how those things, I was like, thank you, universe, because I really needed time to sit with it.
And if you're working all the time, you don't have time to sit.
No, it's like I'm busy. Like I'm booked and busy. I don't have to
time for
worry
this.
about my like emotions or whatever. Like stupid. But I had the time, and it was during that year where I realized, oh, like if I change the way I think and I believe it and I embody that, like I can change everything in my life.
Thank you for watching this video. If you want more inspiring clips like this, make sure to click right here to subscribe and click right here to watch that next video that is specific to support you in your life.